Bing. I don't know which story to go with here, Katy Perry or the Snooki one. Was there a picture of the two of them or just a report that they were hanging out?
No, just a report in the New York Post.
All right. Yeah. Are you dating Snooki?
Oh, boy. This is Drake here. By the way, Bing.com, and then you go entertainment and search Drake, and you'll see everything, one screen right there about his music, his lyrics, where he's going to be, and probably a couple of things that we'll talk about here. We'll post in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So do you know, when you heard that in the studio mixed, did you know that was a hit?
I'll tell you that when Kanye West produced the song, we worked on it together, and I just remember how powerful I felt. We did it in Hawaii and then mixed some of it in Jamaica. So the feel of it was just very, it felt like tropical. It felt, and it just felt good. And that's
there are tropical beats in that. I mean,
it's
that,
definitely
right?
there's definitely some percussion in there that's reminiscent of it. But I think that the most important thing is that it felt familiar. It felt like one of those songs that it felt right. So that was my reasoning in going with that song.
That's so good. From now on, you say, "Well, I really need to be in Aruba."
Yeah, every time. Yeah, great.
All right, remember this one?
I say you the best, you the best, you the best, you the best, you best I ever had, best I ever had, best I ever had, best I ever had. I say you the know you got a roommate, call me when there's no one there.
All right, so there's some confidence in that track.
Yeah.
What do you, when you hear the lyrics now, what do you think about?
Well, I just remember, I was in Toronto and I was actually, I made that song for somebody that I was like dating at the time. It was just like the best, most exciting relationship I had been in to date. And she just made me happy, like all encompassing. Like she was phenomenal. And I made a song called The Best I Ever Had. And it started out as a joke, she really had a roommate. So I was rapping about her and she was like, I hope you never rap about me. So I made this, overly flattering song, and it ended up like getting nominated for a Grammy.
So when you say a joke, intended not to release joke?
Or, no, I mean, just... it was part of a mixtape project that I was putting out for free.
Yeah.
And it was just, I felt like the mixtape was missing that clear cut, like, let me do something a little happier, because a lot of the music on that mixtape is sort of sonically dark. It's a little darker. So I was like, let me do something a little more upbeat, a little happy, and it was the one song that I sort of wasn't confident in, and there you go.
Yusuf, see, when you say something to, you're married, right?
Yes.
When you say something to your wife that's romantic or sweet or a joke, it comes and it goes. When you do a song, like that emotion lives forever.
Absolutely.
Through the good and the bad and the there and the not.
Yes.
Right?
Memorialized.
Yeah, memorialized. But, it's interesting because we talk to artists all the time and they'll write that awesome love song, and then by the time it hits radio or is released, they're not in the relationship anymore, and it's almost painful to have to hear and then go do in concert. So tell us what happened. The video came out. The news reports of this craziness in New York City at a show of yours, so you had to actually cancel it. What really happened there, Drake?
Well, I was really excited on album release day to do a show in New York. I hadn't performed in New York in a long time, and we were doing it in the South Seaport, which is like, financial district. It's a district that isn't usually too concert based. So they expected, I believe they expected between 5,000 and 6,000 kids to come out, and it was myself and Hanson actually was going on before me, and they. I remember being on the bus and I was so excited. I mean, I was in the back, like getting mentally ready, and we get a call like, please don't show up here. Someone from the police called us like, please don't show up here. There's 25,000 people here and it looks like Woodstock and we have to shut it down. And I unfortunately couldn't perform for those fans.
The images went like wildfire on Bing. You could see everybody sort of talking about it, buzzing about it. Social media was going nuts. But what really, like, why did they cancel? Just because there were too many people and it wasn't safe? Is that what it was?
I believe that there were word spread that they were going to cancel or shut the concert down, and people started throwing chairs and bottles of water.
Now, I mean, you kind of got to take that as a compliment.
Yes.
With all due respect to safety,
yeah.
Like they're that passionate about seeing you. Not such a bad thing. Just get bigger venues.
Yeah. I think that it was the turnout was underestimated, but the fact that there were so many devoted fans there. It was definitely humbling. I was honored.
Are you Lil Wayne's protege?
I am.
Would that be fair to say?
Yes, sir.
And did you see him recently in prison?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell me about that visit?
Yeah, it was definitely a change for me to see a man who I've always viewed as my hero and always viewed as very powerful, in somewhat of a vulnerable position. I believe, you know, to see him being talked to the way he was talked to by the guards and cuffs, it was a bit painful for me. But one thing about Wayne that's great is, you know, through any situation, his spirits are always high. He never shows what's really bothering him. And I think he's just so eager to get back out here and give the world the music that they love so much. And to see that in a man who I do hold very high, I put him on a pedestal. It was great to see him still have his heart there, you know, and I know he's eager to get out and see everybody.
Do you
that he
think
loves,
being
so.
in that environment will change him musically?
I hope that it'll change him as a person for the better. I hope that he'll come out and understand, you know, that there are, you know, consequences for your actions, even though a lot of us feel like necessarily he didn't do anything completely wrong.
Why
in that
is he there?
situation.
Why is he in jail?
For possession of a firearm.
I could Bing this right now.
Yes, you could. Yeah,
I can't talk and type this second.
it was something to do with a firearm, but it wasn't on his person, and it wasn't. I know for a fact that it wasn't his. But you know, I mean, he was in New York, and he's had problems in New York. And anyway, the details of it are for the lawyers. For me, I'm excited for Wayne to get back out.
When does he get out?
We're hoping in November.
Okay.
Yeah.
Drake, I got to tell you something. I mean, Yusuf, you've had a chance to spend the last 24 hours with this guy. What a nice guy, and what a focused and driven guy.
Oh, unbelievable! Yeah, really, really nice guy. Very soft-spoken, and yet, I mean, last night was magical.
Sick.
I mean, you could tell hotness was happening.
I know, it drives me crazy. You know, girls throw bras and panties at the guy at shows. It's like a thing.
Yeah.
I've been doing Idol for 10 years. Nothing thrown up there on that stage, Drake.
Not a lot of stuff thrown at software engineers either.
They're not throwing bras at Bill Gates.
No, well, Bill, maybe they'll throw some. Bill has some. He's got some star power too.
But Drake, where'd that come from? The tradition of throwing underwear at you.
I took this sort of leap a while ago from just rapping to singing, and a lot of girls came up to me like, you know, I like when you rap, you're a good rapper, but I really love when you sing. And at the show, I had this mic stand, and as a joke, you know, we put 2 bras on it as just like a thing, and the girls see the 2 bras, and it's like a welcome mat for more bras. So they just throw.
I know.
I think I have like a treasure chest, like an overabundance of underwear. Like women's underwear.
You know, if I would have known that when Crystal Bower Sox was singing with a mic stand, I would have had a whole different season.